up and try this. Maybe I should bring like a slow cooker and heat up some uh, like apple cider with like some cinnamon and stuff in it. That might be kind of good, huh? Yeah? What say you? Maybe. If I'm feeling, I'll do it. All right, let me put a slide we left off at. All right. Pac-Man eats pizza. Sit. Pac-Man eats pizza. All right, ladies and gentlemen. Okay, so we left off here with some Da Vinci. All right? Renaissance. Woo! Remember, Renaissance, people were looking inward and outward to figure out exactly where we belong in the cosmos, what makes us work, and everything. They're interested in everything is going to technology is going to take over to the brand. All right? Remember, you're my first period, so I haven't seen the slideshow in a year, so I'm just kind of going, we'll wait it, we'll figure out where we need to get to. All right, like I said last week, in naked people drawing class, right, in college, and again, please, if you are like, yeah, naked people drawing class, I want to take art classes just so I can take naked people drawing. Remember everybody you are going to be, trust me. You're going to have this language, it's like the same thing, okay? But again, when your model was called in sick, the teacher would peel out the skeleton hanging on a little rack, and you have to draw the skeleton. And drawing a skeleton sucks because there's so many things. Like if you look at this rib cage, like I said last week, that's a nightmare visually to draw. But if you look at Da Vinci, you can follow each one of these ribs around and see where it goes on the back side of the rib cage. Like it's all laid out perfectly. When you're talking Da Vinci, there's all kinds of things like, if you're trying to read these notes, they're backwards. Okay? So, people, why do you write backwards, Lawrence? I heard he wrote backwards, like, to cover his, to basically make it so people couldn't steal his ideas. It's like, he wrote backwards so people couldn't read it. Okay. Da Vinci's, like, by all accounts, pretty dang brilliant, right? Okay? Mirrors were very commonplace in the Renaissance. Like most people had mirrors, and I don't think people could figure out, hey, if something's backwards, I can just hold a mirror and read it through the mirror. I don't think that's a bit. If Da Vinci wanted to do something and put it in code to disguise it, I don't think it would be that simple. You know what I'm saying? Okay. So I think he wrote left-handed. Well, he was left-handed, and I think he wrote backwards in history. If you think about it. If you're writing with an ink, a quill pen, the kind you dip in ink, like Harry Potter, if you're writing right to left, the fresh ink is over here. Your hands go this way. If you're writing left-handed, you're smearing the ink. So if you learn to write backwards, then you're not smearing the ink. So I think that's why he did that. But at any rate, you look at it as this beautiful, like, deconstruction. This side's just all skeleton. This side is skeleton with some muscles, showing you how the bones in your forearms rotate when you turn your hand. He has drawings of like all the systems in the body, the circulatory system, the nervous system, you name it. The skeletal system. He's not at all. This is a time period when cutting into a human body, right? A dead body. That's against the law. You can get thrown in prison for that. And so, for the church, they wanted to find out the information as much as anybody else, right? They wanted what is inside the human body? How does this work? What is this amazing God creation that we are? And so, they'd be like, Leonardo, there's at the house at the end of the street here, the blue house. In the basement, there is a dead body. And we don't know who it is. Nobody knows who it is. So ain't nobody gonna care if you cut the body open and find out what's inside. But don't get caught. Because if you get caught, we don't know nothing about this, and you're gonna go to prison, okay? We cannot save you, okay? You must have worked fast, because there is no thing called refrigeration yet, right? And if you've ever gone hiking and smelled a dead thing, anybody? Or been driving, dead things, man, that smell goes a long way. And that makes you want to throw up in your mouth like that. I remember I was teaching on Foothill. I was in the wood shop. And right at the end of the school year, you know, when it gets nice and hot, right? It was getting all nice and hot. And all of a sudden, I walked in the room one day and I almost threw up. I was like, that's a powerful stink right there. So I told the kids, I said, no, we're going to be meeting in the library until whatever it is stops stinking. Because you couldn't get underneath the floor to find out. It was under the floor, we figured that out. It was under the floor, and we figured it out because all the kids in the forensics class, right? They all learned that I guess when something's dead, fly, like that, and point with that thing. I said, that's pretty cool. So the flies were pointing toward the corner of the room, and sure enough, that's when the smell was the strongest. But underneath the wood shop was only like this tall. You couldn't get under there, you know what I mean? It was an old building. It was an elevated floor. It was like this tall. So whatever it was just had to sit there until it dried out, didn't stink anymore. And so after like 2 weeks ago in the library, the kids were all mad because like, you just don't want to make stuff with it, I'm like, no. I told them, I said, you can walk in that classroom because you had to go in. There was a little hallway. This was the shop class, right? The little hallway had lockers in it. Hang your clothes up, like your jackets, before you went into the wood shop. Same on the left. I said, if you can make it into the classroom past the hallway without wanting to throw up, then guess what? We're going in that class. One kid tried it, started going, and he's like, I'm like, there you go. And then all the other kids were like, okay, you're good. That was a little rat, probably, right?
Is it a dead rat or a live?
Dead rats don't smell like, live rats don't smell like dead rats. There was a dead rat. Dead, somewhere underneath it, yeah. Could have been a dead cat, I don't know. It was something small, right? It was not very big. A human body's big. And a human body starts to go sour, whoo! You're going to smell that long before you see it. So Da Vinci's got to do this real fast. Now look, he's not just a drawing beast. If you think about it, how many of you have done in science class where you get to dissect something, where you get to cut it up? Cut it open, okay. Because we did tons of those when I was in high school. Heck, man, I was in the advanced learner program in elementary school. We got to cut open a small shark. It was about a dogfish, about that big. Yeah, it's cool. And if your shark was pregnant, you got to take one of the baby sharks and still an egg sac on it and a skippy jar full of formaldehyde. It was rad. Yeah. Sometimes teachers would be cool that you cut the tail off and you put that in a jar and take it home. My brother got very ambitious and actually cut the entire jaw out and had like the shark's teeth. That was kind of nasty. It took a long time to dry out and stuff. It was gross. Yeah, we did starfish in elementary. First was starfish, then was dogfish. And then in high school it was a worm, a frog, a rat, a baby pig, yeah, like a little pig. And they even did cats too. It's gross.
What?
Like, yeah, it's like cats. Gross.
No.
Yeah, and then a sheep's eyeball. That one bothered me though.
Oh,
Okay,
no.
so I'm used to doing this, okay? Like, it's nasty, there's a smell to it, yada, yada. But what you learn is when you do that, if you don't cut the thing open right, you destroy everything inside. You can't see what you're supposed to be looking for, you know what I'm saying? So not only does